Hey, you gotta stop this shit, man. Hey.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Developing Dad podcast. We're going to talk about this today. Thank you to everybody that is tuning in. Raj's Rampage. So unless you're living under a rock, you know what this is about. This is Rampage Jackson's son, Raja, on the kick stream, right? He is now being restrained after beating Syko Stu, our fellow wrestler Syko Stu, unconscious. And the aftermath has been about what you would expect. So we're going to talk about this as it relates to ratchet fatigue, whatever you want to call it, black fatigue, ratchet fatigue, ninja fatigue, whatever you want to call it. We got to talk about this because, man. So let me ask y'all. This is going to be more of a Q&A and a discussion. I just want to get y'all's thoughts about this. For the black people that watch my show, some of you, are anti-Trump. You may have TDS. You may agree with me on a lot of things. You may think I'm a coon, a sellout, and Uncle Tom. Was Uncle Ruckus, whatever, Clayton Bigsby. I don't know. I've been called all the things. But at some point, you have to ask yourself, are white people really the problem? Like, is the white man truly the black community's problem? I know some of y'all believe that, and I want to get your feedback. When you look at a situation like this, so Rampage Jackson, I'm familiar with him probably within the last year. I'm not a big MMA guy. I don't watch much sports anymore. I used to watch it pretty regularly. I was a huge football fan, huge basketball fan, boxing when I was growing up. But as I've matured, I've moved further and further away from that for specific reasons, none of which I will get into here unless you all ask. But this young man, Raja, Rampage Jackson's son, seemed to have, if you're asking for, you got a famous dad, he has money. Raja's mentioned in other videos that, that's his dad's money, not his. He's an adult young man, so it shouldn't be his. When do we actually start to blame our community for our problems and stop looking to blame the system and white supremacy and racism for everything, or the majority of things? I won't say everything. They can find a way. Like the ladies, that one lady, the diet don't work for us the same way because we got all these white supremacy problems. She was blaming even her being overweight on racism and white supremacy. But when do we actually start to hold ourselves accountable? Because there is an industry that is building of aggregators online who just find the content that we post and they repost it, and they're making money on X. They're making money on TikTok. They're making money on Instagram, making money on YouTube by just posting ratchetness, the ratchetness of black people. When do we start to ask the question, hey guys, maybe we're our own worst enemy? Right? I'm just going to let the video play while yeah, without all the sound. But they're, you know, you see the man sitting there. I'm going to blur it a little bit, but then this is afterwards where he's, stop playing with me. I'm disrespected. Right? Stop playing with me. Stop calling me a B.
Playing with me and shit. Think I'm always playing and shit. Call me bitch and shit. Not no fucking bitch, bro.
Right.
At the end of the day.
This is, and unfortunately, this behavior isn't isolated. YN culture is real. And the secondhand embarrassment should be the secondhand shame should be overwhelming enough for the rest of the black community to roundly condemn this. But whether it's Raja Jackson or Shador Sanders or Carmelo Anthony, name the YN that has been roundly condemned for their violent behavior, for their immature behavior. No, we make excuses for it as a community. And then when we're overwhelmed with crime and the National Guard has to be called into DC to restore lawlessness and civility, we call the people who want law and order, we call them racist. Or if they're black, we call them Uncle Toms, or coons, or sellouts, or Clayton Bigsby's, or Uncle Ruckuses. Normal, everyday people don't want to deal with violence and lawlessness on the regular. Raja's Rampage is a microcosm of it's a symptom of a larger problem in the black community that needs addressing in a more impactful way. Because right now, so this is we either and this is one of the things that I was discussing when I made the discussing with myself and with my wife when I made the thumbnail and when I made the title. Like, can Trump help? Can Trump be a part of the solution? Right? I mean, this is because what we'll see, I'll pull up a clip. I wasn't planning on using this clip, but you know what? We'll see. We'll pull it up. All right. We'll pull it up. This is Raja's rant. We're not saying that every black person wants this, but what we're saying is there aren't enough black people who are openly calling this out and willing to endure the scorn and ridicule of black America for calling this out. Let's look at this young man. All right, let's just listen in.
They said FBI, DEA, ICE, it's all that outside in Washington, D.C.
Let me pull it. Let me do it again.
They said FBI, DEA, ICE, it's all that outside in Washington, D.C. I don't even got to look over my shoulder no more. I'm walking around with this shit. I ain't hiding none of this shit. I'm walking blocks with this motherfucker. Listen, jump out on me if you want. I'm gonna scream. They gonna be here in 33 seconds. As soon as you jump out, get that shit up. Ah! Help! They gonna help the shit out of me. Y'all niggas jump out if y'all want. Good God almighty, boy. I got some motherfucking help. Some backup. For real, you jump out. I'm gonna blow your ass. Look, they right here. Look. They outside, though. Oh, God almighty. I could just scream. They gonna help me.
Now, language aside, the
They
sentiment,
said FBI, DEA,
the sentiment is real. Well, they're outside now. I can walk around. The police presence it's ubiquitous, right? The police are ubiquitous. They're everywhere. They're on the corners. They're making the streets safer. And so black people are tired of the lawlessness. But this young man is tired of it. But black leadership, and this is where the problem comes in. Black leaders are ill-equipped and ineffective. Let's listen into, let me see if I can find a shorter clip. No. Well, let's listen. We're going to listen into old Brandon Johnson, mayor of Chicago.
Also like to get federal funding to help put 5,000 more cops on the street in Chicago. Would that help drive down crime?
Well, look, policing by itself is not the full strategy.
No, I understand that. You've talked about the other things you want, and I said those are good and important programs, but I'm asking also, would 5,000 more police officers on the street in Chicago be helpful to go along with all of those social programs that a lot of cities are engaging in and having success with?
Well, look, here's the best way I can put it, Joe, is that in the 90s when I was in high school, we had 3,000 more police officers and we had 900 people being murdered every single year in Chicago. It's just not policing alone. Of course, we want more detectives.
I know it's not policing alone, but I know it's not policing alone. You've told me everything else you want. I'm curious, and this does come down to an ideological difference between people. Do you believe that the streets of Chicago would be safer if there were more uniformed police officers on the streets of Chicago?
I believe the city of Chicago and cities across America would be safer if we actually had, affordable housing. Look,
okay,
I'm not saying
that's not the question I asked. My question is, and I just need a yes or a no, do you believe the streets of Chicago would be safer if you got all of those other extraordinary programs put back into place, which do have a history of being successful, if that's complemented by having 5,000 more cops on the streets of Chicago?
I don't believe that we should narrow it down to just police officers, Joe, is what I'm saying. That is an antiquated approach. I'm saying we've invested in detectives.
Mr. Mayor, are you hearing what I'm saying? I'm agreeing with you that all of these other social programs are extraordinarily important. I just need a yes or a no, and then this will be the last time I ask. If you get all of those other social programs that 800 million that New York City does, Los Angeles, other people do with great success, would an additional 5,000 cops on the streets in Chicago help complement those programs to make Chicago safer?
Look, we are working hard to make sure that our police department is fully supported. I don't believe that just simply putting out an arbitrary number around police officers is the answer. What I'm saying is policing and affordable housing. It's policing and mental and behavioral health care services. It's policing and youth employment. It's a full package. Of course, we want to make sure that our police department is fully supported. That's why I've invested in our detectives bureau.
So he's not going to answer the question why, because if he answers the question, then it indicates that he's been a failure, because he's part of the reason why the police force is understaffed. They're at a budget shortfall. He's saying that Chicago is at the breaking point because they can't afford their bills. They can't afford to run the city. And that's under his leadership. This is the same man. He can't answer a basic question. Seems like a capacity issue. But this was the same man just a couple of weeks ago who said this. Right? Let's listen in.
Okay, fine. Since you are begging, I do believe that Donald Trump is intimidated. I know. I think you're
Okay,
begging.
no interruption.
So let me just answer that. I do appreciate you begging. So I would just say it like this, that the president has always been intimidated by the intellectual prowess of black men. And so, of course, he would speak in those petite and puerile terms because, okay, fine, since
right? Rhodes Scholar Brandon Johnson, who can't answer a simple yes or no question when it comes to whether or not the policing, that extra police, 5,000 extra police on the streets of Chicago would make a difference in crime. Where this young man said, well, in D.C. it's already made a difference. I can walk down the street now without worrying about being robbed. In New York, man on the street interviews. People asking the black community, do you want more police or less police? Every person they asked said, well, we need more. We want more police. What are you talking about? The crime on these streets is getting out of hand. This is what you have to deal with. Where is that? This is what you have to deal with. Thanks to everybody that's tuning in. If you could, when you come in, say hello and I will shout you out. All right. I know this isn't our usual topic, but this is the street. This is the subways in New York. Right. Knife wielding man tries to press up on a man with a skateboard. He underestimates the man with the skateboard and boom, knocked out. I gotta blur it because, and then the police come.
Now, Jet 2 holidays.
Police come.
Officer, he got a knife. He got a knife.
All right. Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. Why are people putting that to everything? Oh, man. But in this situation, the knife wielding man does not comply with the authorities. There's a longer clip of it. It takes him a while. They have to handcuff him, yank him out of the subway. Where is it? Let's see. You have to yank him out of the subway, off the tracks.
Now, Jet 2 holidays.
A Jet 2 holiday.
Officer,
Right?
he got a knife. He got a knife.
Right? You're like, let me see your hands. Whereas the other man is still sitting over there waiting, complying. What's the difference? This is why Roger's rampage is just a symptom of a larger problem that we have in the black community. Don't you disrespect me. I never want to be disrespected, right? Roger was running around talking about how he was being disrespected. The initial interaction between the two of them where the wrestler, right now, show that, go down the timeline. This is the initial interaction, right, between the two of them. He smashes the can, right? A prop can, because that's what wrestlers do. Yeah, he thought that he was a wrestler like that, right? Okay. And so now here's the crazy thing. They apologize or he apologizes to him, and then they seem to be, everything seems to be a-okay, right? Hey, sorry about that.
Hey.
Right?
So fucking seal that. Yeah. Hey.
I'm sorry, bro.
Hey, it's gonna
I'm
all
sorry.
work out. Yeah. Hello. I apologize. I appreciate it. I didn't know. I started for a couple more years. Camera. I get it. We're not working out. Well, he's gonna come out on your mat, Juice. I know you keep thinking we're working. We're always working. I get it.
Right.
I get it now. Now you know what I'm saying? Yeah. We're always working.
Right. That's what wrestlers do. Yeah. They're putting on a show. They're always working. That's what they're saying. He apologizes to him, and it's still not enough. He's still, right? So he's going to get his get back, right? He's trying to be famous. These are, he's talking to his...
I'll tell you guys this. They told me to hit him and just leave. Somebody who pulled me off of him will leave. I'm telling you. I'm going to hit him as many times as I can. Watch. No, they didn't tell me to fake hit him. They said I could hit him for real. Yeah, they allowed me to hit him for real. If he hits me back for real, I don't give a fuck. I want him to. Tell you guys.
Right? This is what's going on. Now, in the aftermath, his father apologizes. But this is a sad situation. And because it speaks to now this is, and I'm going to be transparent with you all. Like, I don't judge a man based on how much money he makes. I know the world does. That's what the world does. The world's going to do what the world does. I don't care. I don't think Rampage Jackson is a bad father to me, right? I'll just call it like I see it. If this is what he produced, it was either through negligence or he created this. He may be a great fighter. I don't even know. Don't care. Haven't seen one. He could beat me up. Yeah, exactly. What's going on, BCDC? Long time no see. Yes. So Rampage has been doing this. Now listen to what he says about his son. Listen to this.
Roger and his oldest son whole life, I knew them two wasn't going to college. And my two Japanese kids, I knew that it was going to college. So I saved up college tuition for the two Japanese kids and bail money for Roger and his brother. So don't fuck with him. If you go to jail, I'm just going to bail him out. Roger.
You can't make this up.
He saved bail money for Raja and his older brother and college tuition for his two Japanese kids. I don't know the specifics because I don't know. Let me check, I guess. Hold on. Let's just look it up. Might as well. Oh boy. Let's see. Children. What is it? Family, personal. No, doesn't have it. What is it? Family. Let's look it up. Personal life. There you go. All right. Has 5 children. 3 of his children have the middle name Rampage. Jackson and his wife, with whom he has 2 children, separated in 2006 after paternity test proved that he had fathered a child with another woman in 1999. They initially reconciled but have since divorced. In 2023, welcomed a 5th child and second daughter, Serenity. 2025, Raja's sons, Raja, also mixed race, mixed martial artist, knocked out Syko Stu. Yes, that recently happened. Okay. Doesn't say when he had the children with what woman. I could go and do, yeah. I just don't care that much about this man to know. I just know that this admission is That's a good point, Snoop. I notice Raja is the only one who really associates with Rampage. His other siblings don't even associate with him. Says a lot. That's true. And we have a problem culturally, and it's not even just black culture. This is more so American culture, where we equate success with the amount of money that someone has made. But then we don't recognize that the brokenness behind the scenes. Yeah, this is absolutely horrible parenting. So we don't recognize the brokenness behind the scenes. So like even with let's say, Michael Jordan, greatest basketball player of all time, right? But he sacrificed time with his family, admittedly, right? Where you can see his sons suffer from that. Just because you're a great basketball player, a great whatever, doesn't mean you're a great father. Those are two separate skill sets. Yeah. This is a problem that we have in American culture, but more acutely in black culture, is that getting the bag, right? It's just this.
I just want some money.
I just want some money. If somebody has money, then they're successful. They could be a horrible father, a non-husband, but a horrible husband if they are one. But you'll be lionized if you have money, because that's the love of money. But the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. We learn that from the Bible, right? 1 Timothy. Unfortunately, that's not good enough. So we need to judge men based on the ultimate standard, right, which is Jesus Christ. But even so, classically speaking, and I used to make this point a lot more often on my channel, was that the Latin word for man is vir, and we would spell it V-I-R, right? That's also, it's where we derive the word virtue, because virtus, which is what it means to be a man. Those were the qualities that were expected of a man, the virtues. And we've forgotten that so much so in American culture, is that it only takes a specific amount of money. Like, oh, Anthony Edwards is a model of success. Where? For men. Where? Why? Because he can dribble a basketball and play a sport? Because he has lots of money? He has no eggplant control. He lays with loose women. What about him is admirable? And I'm just using him as an example because you got other ones like Zion Williamson, and we got Rampage Jackson here. I mean, what about these men is worthy of emulation besides athletic accomplishments and money? Until we reframe the conversation and begin to ask hard questions about what it actually means to be a man, then we're going to continue in this cycle in the black community of lionizing and idolizing men who don't deserve to be lionized or idolized. And you become like the thing you worship. Lack of impulse control, violence, anger, no sexual discipline. But as long as you have money, you can be like James Harden, right? You can ball because you can play basketball. You can sleep with lots of women, frequent strip clubs, everything. Yeah, great. He's living a life and you just a hater. No amount of money would want to make me like those men. You couldn't give me enough money to trade in virtue to be like them. And until men can actually say that, earnestly say that, enough black men can earnestly say that, we're cooked. If in your heart of hearts you would like to be like Anthony Edwards, James Harden, Zion Williamson, Shedeur Sanders, Dion, if in your heart of hearts you ultimately want to be like them, then that's going to be a problem. Right? Until we can honestly say and train ourselves to say, I would much rather be a 6-figure earner with a wife who is price is far above rubies. It's not a thought, not your classical or the classic black thick whatever the body style is, with the BBL or the overly made up fake hair, fake eyelashes, fake everything, video vixen is what we used to call them. If you desire that lifestyle, until you can train yourself to get away from that, and you say, I just want to be a regular, possibly 6 figures, maybe low or high 5 figures, with a godly, beautiful wife who's not online showing off anything. That's one of the questions you can ask a woman. And I always drop one of them on an episode every now and then. Ask a woman, would she be willing to give up her social media in order to marry you? You'll see my wife is not even on social media. She just hates it. Praise the Lord. But just finding you a wife who wants to help build a life with you instead of a 304, the look of a 304, but a Proverbs 31 and a 304 package. If you're looking for that, these are the things we've got to start to retrain ourselves against, because too many of us want this unattainable standard of, what is it, the one the Drea Michelle look, or the what's the other one? These women, they're so dime a dozen. The one that Anthony Edwards had the baby with, that's had multiple, was it Howard or something like that? You want that look, but you want her to be faithful to just you. But she's showing off her goods to get to the next bag. That's what she wants, right? She just wants some money.
I just want some money.
She just wants the money. You think that you're chasing after that instead of finding you just a beautiful, everyday beautiful woman that isn't overly made up with all the fillers and nonsense, and then wondering why we can't find peace. Right, Raja is a product of Rampage's rampaging through women, broken homes. Like he said, Snoop said, trauma. Yeah. Right. And then this is part of the problem. Let's look at this. Well, let's look at this fan interaction between the two of them. Right. He's yearning for father acceptance. You can tell that Raja's yearning for father acceptance. Okay. He hangs with him, like Snoop said. He hangs with him. Well, let's look at this. We're gonna listen to Raja talk about him being broke. He's not rich. His dad's rich. It might be a slight language warning, but
hell no, I don't got no bread, bro. I don't got no bread. That's what I'm saying. That's why I be talking to y'all and shit. I'm just like y'all, nigga. Like, my dad got bread. That's his bread. That's not mine. It's not my bread. He's rich. I'm not rich. He's rich. Feel me? I'm not rich yet. That's why I want to get on brand rich, bro. I've been waiting, bro. It's just been rough. It's been hard on me, bro. It's just really been hard on me, bro. I've been low key. I've been stressed about it. I've been stressed about a lot of shit. You feel me? But I'm showing y'all like the real deal shit.
Now, why is it that he feels he has to be rich? Just because his dad's rich. His dad was genetically gifted with strength and the ability to make money based on his size, speed, physicality, you know, all of those things. He wasn't gifted with that same. You can see the size difference in the two of them. Why can't he just be an air conditioning tech and marry, like, make 90 to 100 some $1,000s as an air conditioning tech and just live a normal life? Why can't he do that? Why does he have to be rich? See, he's chasing after something that he wasn't blessed to be able to do, but he's going to chase. He's put himself on this hamster wheel. I've got to be rich like my dad. That's my dad's bread, but I need to be rich too. Why? Says who? Because your dad's rich? You have to be rich? That's not the case. You don't have to be rich. Let me see. I'm supposed to put this there it is. All right. For some reason I forgot to put the yes, there we are. There we are. For some reason it's there it is. Okay. It's supposed to be up here. The numbers. There we go. All right. Let me put this. I forgot to. There we go. This is yeah. Right. Yeah, that's it. Snoop, you've got to do it. Right? You got to live for yourself and not for the approval of others. Right? Even your parents. Exactly. It's unfortunate that he's been caught up in this and he's trying to. You can tell he's looking for father acceptance. Yeah, and look, he said, I'm sure his dad would call him a punk if he pursued that. Rampage accused him of hanging out with men in tights and put his sexuality into question because he was at that pro wrestling event. Yeah. Again, sometimes you just got to realize that your parents ain't spit and move along. Move along. Move along. Yeah. What's going on? Mudlarking with Steve. Welcome. Hello. Hello. Thank you for tuning in. All right. Yeah. And you see that, you know, this is the type of lessons that he's teaching him.
I can't pay with this thing?
Yeah.
I can't pay with this thing?
No. No, I don't, Don.
I just want to say what's up.
Bro, do you tap people on the back like that?
Sorry,
bro, that's rude as fuck, bro.
So
Nobody like that. Turn around. Turn around. Come here. Turn around. How you like that?
I'm so sorry.
Think about it. How you like that?
No, I just grew up watching your fights.
So you come tap people on the back like that?
Nah, dude.
Are you serious? Are you serious though, bro?
I'm so sorry.
I just want come on, come closer. That's a social experiment. Did you like that?
No, not really.
So why you do it to me?
I just wanted to grab your attention. That's all.
You can say my name, bro. I got ears, bro.
All right, sorry.
Don't ever tap a grown man on his back like that, bro.
No worries,
What's your name?
Nathan.
How old are you?
I'm 21. I just turned 21.
Man, goddamn, you old enough to get your ass kicked.
Yeah, sorry. I just grew up watching your fights.
You look at my son. Look the way my son looking at you.
You're good, bro. Yeah, sorry. Sorry. All right, thank you guys. Thank you.
You see why you don't idolize these type of people? I wouldn't have even known who he was if I walked past him because I'm not an MMA fan. I wouldn't have even known him. But the sense of entitlement, you got the nerve to teach that young man a lesson. But your son is out here knocking people unconscious. Can we, what life lessons have you taught him? Yeah. Oh, wow. See, I didn't even know that, Snoop. He said, yeah, Rampage's oldest son et al., the albino kid, you only see him with childhood photos. He doesn't even come around, nor is he talked about amongst Rampage and Roger's siblings. Yeah, see, I have no idea. I mean, again, I didn't know who Rampage Jackson was until like maybe 2-3 months ago, I would say. Within the past year, I've learned about who he is. And I still didn't really know what he was famous for until this Raja situation. But I started to do some research and look at videos and listen to other people talk about him. Like, why do people, just goes down in another long list of people that I'm grateful that my sons know nothing about, because they've never been allowed to imbibe this kind of content. They don't follow sports and MMA and all this other stuff. Why? Because children have a habit of idolizing people like this if you put them in front of them and they are continually praised and honored and glorified. And so then you get to the point where that young Asian man is being scolded by Rampage Jackson and being taught a lesson, but he doesn't even teach his own kids well. He has the nerve to, I'm going to give you a lesson. I'm going to teach you a lesson. Teach your own kids. Teach your own kids self-control. You want to teach this young Asian man self-control, but you haven't taught your own children self-control. Or you can get beat up. Because again, that's the default, right? That's how you prove you're a man, right? I can beat you up. Well, that's what his son did. His son's trying to do the same thing. I'm hard. I'm gonna show y'all. Y'all gonna stop playing with me. Y'all not gonna play with me. Y'all ain't gonna mess with me. And then it's excused, right? So let's listen. This is them in the aftermath. Rampage, because Raja's been kicked off of Kick. Okay. Here it is. Let's listen in.
And you ruined it.
It wasn't my fucking fault.
Well,
The goddamn cameraman's fault. I know he's watching this shit. If you watching this shit, nigga, how could you? How fucking could you? That's what I expected, though. It's all good. We gonna fucking figure this shit out.
Nah, you going to jail, bruh. We're gonna figure it out. It's the cameraman's fault? Because you laid 22 blows on the head of an unconscious man. It's the cameraman's fault. He didn't stop recording. Oh, man. Yeah. Oh, wow. There you go. He's here from Memphis, and apparently Rampage is a distant cousin. There you go. Never met him and don't want to. My folks have pictures of him in photo books. Nice. Yeah, and I like UFC, right? Yeah, but it's full of unstable. Yeah, I mean, you look, that goes without saying, Snoop, because in order to fight like that, who was it that said it? Boxing is something that you should do only if you have no other options. I think it was Mike Tyson or Cus D'Amato. Somebody said that, right? And MMA is just boxing ratcheted up. Yeah, I would never. That's if you have no other options, physically or mentally, to make money, then go ahead and get your head pounded in by some other guy, I guess. I mean, go for it. I've never once thought of that as a good idea. You know, it's like, I'm going to use my brain. I'll be a software engineer. Yeah, I'll make money that way. I'll try. I'll try. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right. And so, yeah, the chat was instigating. Yeah, they were instigating. I think they were part of the reason why he went after him, United Truth. You're absolutely right. Yeah, he went after the guy, even after the apology, because the chat was instigating. Right. But again, that's why you've got to teach young men self-control. That's one of the cardinal virtues. It's right. So this book here, was it, where's the other one? Yeah. I have two of them. Where is the other one? I had it in a stack, y'all. I had the books in the stack. But the stack fell. Oh, well. Yeah, there it is. I don't want to fall, though. If I fall, that would be embarrassing. Yeah. So, right? So this is a nice one by Eleanor Hunter, right? Talks to boys. And then she also wrote this one, Talks to Girls. I used this when my wife and I were teaching, we're running our classical school. And it's essentially, what is it? The title of it is Talks to Boys, Classic Teachings on Virtues and Values. Right? And so it goes through, talks of business, talks to poor boys, rich boys, school boys, on telling the truth, spending and saving, plain English, weak points, the soul of honor, self-control, on reading books, which is better, how to make decisions. And then there's books by Uncle Eric. There are so many resources out there that we can use. And if you obviously the scriptures, but a lot of these are based on that. But if you don't implant that stuff into your children early on, then you'll have someone like Raja who doesn't have self-control, who can be egged on by people who don't matter. The chat shouldn't have been his primary focus. He's there for an event. Do your part. Make your money. Go home. Now, so he allowed the chat to instigate and egg him on to make one of the dumbest decisions he's ever made in his life. Now he's famous, but for the wrong reasons. Infamous. Okay? So, yeah, you got, right? I don't know. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's a grown man. That's why he's going to have a grown man sentence it. If they're not going to try him as a child. Yeah, he got sheltered, right? Instead of being taught things, being told no, being hard, the trauma that happened based on his upbringing, having a dad like Rampage was probably not a good thing for him. Yeah. So, and we just see too much of this happening in the black community. And then a lot of what happens is we don't have the community doing enough to push back on the negatives, right? And so that's when stereotypes happen, right? So you have the didn't do nothing, my boy didn't do nothing, my baby, that baby's a child. These calling 25-year-olds babies, and those teenagers, babies, they're out there committing adult crimes, but we out here calling them babies, right? It's a very effeminate way to address young men. Instead of teaching them how to be men, we're making excuses for why they're behaving like children. One of the most dangerous things in the world, if not the most dangerous thing, is a man who lacks self-control. I tell my sons all the time, you're growing in physical strength. You all are in the midst of puberty. Hair's growing in places. Desires are springing up. Testosterone is surging. We got you working out, so you're developing muscles. You're growing. Now, if you don't have self-control, you're a danger to those around you. If you don't control your strength, then you're a danger to those around you. If you fly off at the handle, if someone disrespects you, you are a danger to those around you. You must learn how to control yourself. You must learn how to master yourself so that you can lead others. Rampage did not teach that to Raja. Now, my children are not being taught that. But the culture is coming after children. And then we've got the most unlikely advocates. Oh boy, yes. Let's see. We're gonna do this. I want to cover this one thing after the Raja situation. I'm trying to transition well into it. I think I've done everything. Yeah, we talked about all of it. Yeah, we talked about all of it. Yeah. All right. So. All right. So Snoop Dogg's. We're going to talk about this. All right. Going to switch topics. Demetrius Barnes, what do you say? I can't say what if I don't know for sure. What is that? Let me check some of these comments before we move to the next. Thank you, Cameron Zamani. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. All right. Let's see if any other. Yeah. Yep. There it is right there. The way he acted afterwards will be what sinks him, right? No remorse, saying my bad. When learning he hadn't woke up, he just felt justified, right, in doing because of his ego. He needs to be locked up. Yeah, he's a threat to society. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that's obvious that he hasn't taught him self-control. Yeah. 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 His father didn't teach him self-control. You can see the way he talks, the way he interacts. Watch his stream, the clips that I've seen so far. Yeah, his father didn't teach him self-control. All right. So, yes. Thank you, Mudlarking with Steve. Yeah. Yep. All right. So, Snoop is in hot water. He's one of the most unlikely people you would have thought would come into hot water with the LGBT, right? Yeah. You obviously don't know anything about classical virtues and the like. You can teach self-control. There are hundreds of thousands of books on how to practically teach self-control. I would suggest you educate yourself on the topic of virtue formation and the like. But I mean, I don't assume that you would know anything about that. But he's indicated multiple times that he doesn't have any self-control in just a few clips that I've seen him. So, all right. So here we go. Now, Snoop is in trouble, right?
I took my grandson to see, what was the movie with Buzz Lightyear?
Toy Story?
Not that one, but
the new Buzz. The Lightyear. I think it's called Lightyear.
Yeah, with Kiki Palmer's in that movie.
Okay.
She plays like the daughter. So we watching it, and the lady, which is Kiki's mama, they move on into the space years. They move down the line. They're like, man, she had a baby with a woman. Well, my grandson in the middle of the movie like, Papa Snoop, how she have a baby with a woman? She a woman. Oh, shit. I didn't come in for this shit. I just came to watch the goddamn movie. Hey, man, watch the movie. They just said she had a baby. They both women. How did she have a baby? Shh. The movie ain't over with. So it's like, it's fuck me. I'm scared to go to the movies now. Like, y'all throwing me in the middle of shit that I don't have an answer for. I took my...
Right? So it's like the little boy is asking like...
Why are you gay?
Right, what's going on? He's asking questions. He's like, they're two women. How can they have a baby? They don't have the parts to make a baby together. Right? Like the little boy from what's the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger? Oh man. Kindergarten Cop? Yeah. Boys have girls have a vagina. We would do so well to go back to that teaching in school. It wasn't that long ago. Right. It wasn't that long ago when we were Kindergarten Cop. How long ago was that? When did the movie come out? 1990. Kindergarten Cop. People understood. Boys have, girls have, People knew it. Even that far back. It wasn't that long ago that people knew that. Now Snoop is having to go to the movies and explain to his grandson, because they're throwing it in everything, making it seem like it's ubiquitous, like 50% of the population is LGBT, one of the alphabets. But that's not the case. And so they're already lying on him, right? They're reframing the argument of the fact that, oh, Snoop is saying that trans people and gay people shouldn't exist. That's not what he said. He just said, I don't want to be explaining. I don't want to go to a movie and have to explain to my grandson that two women had a baby. What'd you say there? Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. I feel like this is just a natural progression. Snoop, played for Trump's inauguration. The rap community has never been that friendly with LGBT. Yeah, no, and you're right. The black community has never been on board with that. For the most part. Now, hypocritically so, they would allow them to be the leaders of the music ministry and the things like that. But they've never openly been affirming of the LGBTQ plus agenda. Black people in this country have been traditional for the vast majority of our time here. High marriage rates prior to the Great Society programs and everything in the 60s that shifted demographics, but black community has never been LGBTQ. This is a recent development where they've yoked black as gay as the new black. So yeah, true. And rappers have been making songs with Trump in the lyrics for years, right? But now Snoop is persona non grata, right? Because he's like, oh, and people are calling him, a homophobe.
So there are actually people upset with Snoop Dogg
Right.
because he said he doesn't want his grandson being introduced to
There are lots of them.
in a Disney movie. Why are you mad? If you're really upset about the whole Snoop Dogg situation, I'm staying far away from you because obviously you're a weirdo. Kids should not know about sex. I thought everybody knew that. Apparently not. So there are actually people.
And there's some very rational young people who are actually pushing back against it. And that's why I said this is very encouraging, because children shouldn't be exposed to this. They're doing this intentionally. Putting these references and examples in kids' movies is a systematic plan to normalize it for the youngest among us. And then if it's normalized amongst them, when our generation dies off, then they're like, well, we've already got your children. You gave us your children through the school system, through entertainment, social media. You've allowed your children on phones unrestricted. You've allowed the system to educate them and to indoctrinate them instead of you educating and indoctrinating them, because indoctrination is not a bad thing in and of itself. Well, when we see that our children are nothing like what we want them to be, begin to ask ourselves the question, why is that the case? Why is that the case? Well, because they're being educated by leftists. They're being entertained by leftists. They're being what? I mean, those are the two main things. If you're being entertained and educated by that group, you're going to be discipled into that group's ideology. That's why they're coming for your children. The San Francisco Gay Men's Choir said it. We're coming for them. We're coming for your children. Years ago. And they are. Now, thankfully, this young woman is not fooled. Hold on one second. Channel analytics. Oh, it just... Let me do this again. All right. There we go. I mistakenly removed the sub count. There you go. All right. It's back. It's back. Yes. It's back. All right. So, man, looks like the numbers went up as we're about to leave. Thank you, Piehead the Maniac. All right. Yes. Yes, guys, don't worry about Blade. Blade's fun. Yeah. He's gonna come in and do what he does. Y'all just enjoy his presence. Right? Yes. Enjoy his presence. Right? You gotta respect someone that'll spend lots of time on a stream with someone they think is unintelligent, a grifter, and the like. You gotta. They're helping me to grow the channel. You gotta admire the inconsistency, right? Thank you for the super chat. These people only care about their cult, right? By getting people to believe an obvious lie, they can make people believe anything. Once men or women, they can make 2 + 2 = 5, right? Yeah. So, yeah. Hey, Indania, what's going on? Yes. Of course I'm going to acknowledge you, Blade. You're fun. Yeah. You're fun. I mean, why would I not acknowledge you? No one's afraid of you. You're just characters in a chat. Indania, how have you been? Yeah. Right. Yeah. There you go. See, he's gonna call me names. Yes, I'm insecure, right? Married, father of 5 with multiple jobs, respected in my community. Yes, I'm afraid of Blade. Yeah. So you see these. Look, you see these. Look, you see these. Look, he's relying on grifting, right? The amount of money that I make on YouTube is negligible compared to my other income, right? Doing 0 for the community, right? Because he knows me, right? He knows me. Look, this is like when you see somebody just spouting out the foolishness, guys. You should just, yeah. Right? He doesn't know me from Adam. But he just talks. I mean, these people are amazing. Yes. But thank you, Danielle. Thank you. Right. He's about to crash out hard. I know, right? That's what he does. And y'all should enjoy it. Enjoy the crash out. Right. He sounds indoctrinated and vaccinated. Right. Probably like triple, quadruple vaxxed. Right. Oh, man, I got to go get my booster. Every year he's going to get his booster. Okay. Now we got like 5 minutes. Well, no, I'm not going to push it. I want to talk about this. Just situation with Snoop. And that will be the last thing for today. I'm going to come back tomorrow with another episode. Yeah, we want to talk about Rampage today. And we're going to talk a little bit more because what I'm trying to do is on my and I'll close out here. Let me do it on my daily lives. Try to cover just one, maybe 2 topics. So one major topic and then a small one at the end, like the Snoop thing. Because what was happening was I want to try to get so much in and there's so much happening, and I want to try to condense it all into a 2-hour show, but I don't have 2 hours because I do this right before I go to my second job. But during my daily shows, which I try to do at least on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'll possibly try to do Mondays and Wednesdays if I get time. And then I do a larger show on Sunday. And I'm trying to get back into the flow of doing more lives, but I'm also trying to build out my music channel. Right. So I need time to do that and to actually produce those videos. So I can't go live as often as I like to. But I do appreciate you all, because you all are helping this number to grow to 13,000. We've doubled our subscribers within the past month and a half. And it really is because of your support. So we're trying to get to 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year. The goal was 10,000, but you all have crushed it. Crushed it. Yeah, crushed it and helped me to reach the goal within a month. So we have to set a new goal. So keep liking, keep commenting, keep subscribing. Thank you. Yes. All right. You got that piano. Good. So what I'm going to be doing, and I may just announce it here. I plan on doing, I redid the site that I was doing before. I'm going to be doing those overhead piano videos again. We're going to be going through some books and just working on technique and doing practice routines for people who want to learn guitar, piano, bass, maybe ukulele, maybe, we'll see. But practice routines on learning how to practice effectively, right? Because a lot of people teach you, they'll show you a song, but they don't teach you how to become a better piano player. They make you pay for that, right? You got to go into their pay subscription, the pay site to get that. But I'm just going to do it for free, right? And see if I can build a channel doing that, right? It's always fun, right? So I'm trying to build another channel and see if I can, make that happen. So if I can get that channel to be as profitable and as interesting as this one. So that's the next one. But yes, keep working on those piano skills. Yes. So I appreciate you all. All right, let me see. I'm going to check some of these comments before I go. Let me see what we got here. Right, yeah, Snoop says it, right? The situation with Rampage has nothing to do with race. I wish both sides would use their brains and look into this situation objectively like you're doing. Yeah, it's essentially a father that hasn't done a good enough job raising their son, and a son without self-control who wants father love and is trying to be like his dad and wants to be rich and has a lot of bad ideas, and he wants to be well known, and he acted out in a way that highlights some of his dad's failures, and you could see even in their interaction at the end, it was just poor parenting, right? It's just so much wrong with the situation, right? And I think we can use it to highlight a deeper problem or a deeper issue within the black community, but there's bad parents in every genre. I mean, not genre, every race, right? I was thinking genre because I looked down at something over here that had the word on it. I always do that. Okay. Thank you, Charles. I appreciate that. I have like 20 bow ties, right? I try to vary them up on the streams. I wear this. This is my daily uniform as a classical. Yeah. Right. You're right about that. Having a degree doesn't make you intelligent. It makes you an idiot with a piece of paper. Oh, now the one thing I tell people is most of the time, 100% of what you'll get coming out of college is debt with the way it's structured now. Yeah. Used to be institutes of higher learning. Now it's institutes of higher debt. That's what it is. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right about that. Say what you mean. Exactly. He didn't do anything wrong. That's the prevailing sentiment of most people, most rational people in America, wherever they fall on the spectrum of the LGBTQ plus IA plus issue. They just don't want you promoting it to kids. That's one of the things that got Trump elected, was because they're tired of that. Both moderates, conservatives, most rational thinking people don't want you promoting sexuality, whether heterosexual or homosexual or whatever other type of sexual preference, to children. Everybody, for the most part, hates that. Yeah. Everybody hates that. Yeah, he does have ego issues. I don't know why this thing doesn't want to stay down here. Stay right there. Yeah. Right. Exactly. I want people to stop trying to push. Why does it keep? Stay right here. All right. Stay right there. Okay. Yes. All right. What's going on, Roger Dodger? Thank you for tuning in, listening at work. I'm about to go to my second job. Yeah. All right. So we see we got this. Yes. Thank you for subbing. All right. We'll leave that one up there. Thank you for subbing. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. All right. Let's see. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, a lot of what, and this is one of the things that, and I'll close up on this. That's my alarm telling me it's time to go. Most people, this is what you're going to start seeing a lot of. As white people become more and more emboldened to just say, we're not going to bend the knee anymore. The 2020 George Floyd fiasco is over. Those days are done. We're not bowing the knee. We're not capitulating. We're going to stand firm. We're going to believe in the culture that was left to us by our ancestors. That's what's happening. This is a natural reaction to the overcorrection of trying to place black people at the forefront or at the top of the chain, right? And LGBTQ plus people, and pushing white men down to pushing them to the margins. Well, did you think that they were just going to accept it? There are more of them here than us. When they decide that, well, we're tired of this, and they're going to fight back. Did you think it was going to that they were just going to be weak and allow themselves to be dominated in a country where they're the majority? I don't know. Maybe people thought that was what was going to happen. I don't know. But it's a reality that white men are the majority here. And the majority, in most cases, is going to rule. I don't understand why that. I mean, if you go to Japan, the Japanese people are going to rule. You're not going to go there and tell Japanese people how to run there. You're not going to tell Chinese people, Japanese people, Indian people. Obama tried to go and tell African people to accept LGBTQ, or he wasn't going to give them funding. They essentially told him to go shove that LGBTQ stuff somewhere else. Leader after leader after leader in Africa said that we don't do that here. We do not do that here. And they told them, go somewhere. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what do you want? Do you want a country where we exist harmoniously, where we all try to be American and strive for that same dream? Or are we going to continue to be... See, the rest of the world looks at us as America, the tribe. The rest of the world wants us to... They like when we're divided like this, because then that means we're weaker. And then the Indian government can tell us, well, release Harjinder Singh. Or, like, no, we're not. No. Well, because we're American. He killed 3 Americans. He's going to receive justice in America. He's here now. You don't tell us what to do with our citizens or illegal immigrants in our borders. No. And so we need to say, okay, well, we're a nation here. Everybody else is tribal for their nation. Why can't we be tribal for our nation? Why can't we protect our borders? Why can't we want our nation to thrive? Why can't we get fair and equitable trade deals that don't harm the American workers? Why can't we want those things? Why can't we want prosperity and our next generation to be able to afford a home to pursue the American dream? Why can't we want these things? Are those things inherently bad? Are those things inherently white supremacists? Because then that means Indians are white supremacists. Japanese are white supremacists. Chinese are white supremacists because they care about their people. I don't know. Anyway, I'm about to go. I got to go, y'all. I got to go. All right. Until next time. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. Thank you to the super chats. Thank you to the likes, the comments, subscribes. Thank you to everything, right? Until next time, be on the alert. Stand firm in the faith. Act like men. Be strong. See y'all around. Bye.